Football players are fierce and focused. The world sees them as someone filled with energy jolting across the field to score that one winning goal. However, some things often go unseen, and drug addiction and alcoholism is one of them. Here are 10 football players who were found drunk during their football careers. Stick to the end of the video to see how each player overcame the hurdles and returned to sobriety. Number 10. Paul Merson. Paul Merson, former England midfielder and armory, had a long struggle with alcoholism, drug and gambling addictions, all during his prime football career. It grew to a point where FA had to place him in therapy to make peace with all his addictions. The journey was long and challenging. However, Merson pulled through it and is now a media expert. Number 9. Tony Adams. Football players often fear admitting their addictions and coming clean, just so their career couldn't be affected. One such case is of Tony Adams. After having lived with his addictions for over 10 years, Adams finally opened up about his addiction in 1996. He started taking expert treatment and kept on playing until 2002, after which Adams switched to being the manager of Gabala FC in Azerbaijan. Number 8. Paul Gascoigne. Undoubtedly, Paul Gascoigne was the most talented English football player of his time. Owing to his fame, his battle with alcohol was also well documented in his book titled Gaza, My Story. Gascoigne expressed how he struggled with alcoholism and drug addiction during most of his field career. However, it's astonishing to note that he still managed to put up with a flawless performance. Number 7. George Best. The deceased legend, George Best, struggled with alcoholism for a long time, starting during his prime years. With Manchester United, Best accomplished a lot, but it's clear that drinking prevented him from reaching his full potential. Best went through a liver transplant in 2002 and passed away in 2005 due to the addiction complications of the drugs he was on. Number 6. Malcolm McDonald. Up next we have Malcolm McDonald, a former striker for Newcastle and England, who developed alcoholism in the late 1980s as a result of personal issues. He was playing during his battle with alcohol addiction, but eventually sought treatment, and has now overcome his addiction and gone on to become a radio analyst. Number 5. Jimmy Greaves. Jimmy Greaves, the all-time leading scorer, wasn't generally a dead-end old footballer. He retired over 30 years ago, when drinking was already weakening his lean frame, and has the good wisdom to avoid dwelling on the past. In 1957, when he was just 17 years old, he made his Chelsea debut. He later spent a brief time at AC Milan, was a 1960s Tottenham hero, and played for West Ham in his final season while drinking. In his 57 games, Greaves scored 44 goals for England, giving him 465 goals overall in his career. Greaves was a phenomenon, and a star on par with Owen or Beckham in his heyday. But those days are long gone, and happily he doesn't play the diva. After seeing his marriage fall apart and spending a lot of time in hospital, Greaves decided to pull himself back up and get rolling. Number 4. Paul McGrath. At the start of his leadership at Manchester United, Paul McGrath's alcoholism strained his relationship with Sir Alex Ferguson. Regardless of his growing addiction, McGrath continued his career with Aston Villa, where he battled his problems and had his prime years. As he gets ready for knee surgery with Dr. Ray Moran at Santry Sports Surgery Clinic, McGrath, who has a problematic past with alcohol addiction, opened up about his alcoholism on The Late Late Show and stated that he has been sober for a few months now. I had my moments, I must admit, but I'm off it totally now. The last couple of months I've tried to stay off it just so I can concentrate on my knee. If I was messing about with the booze with this thing as well, I'd be gone, McGrath expressed. He also talked about how alcoholism has affected his relationship, but he is healthy and sober now. Number 3. Gary Charles. After his career was cut short by injury, Gary Charles, a former player for Aston Villa, Derby County, and Nottingham Forest, was twice sentenced to prison for alcohol-related offenses. Charles, the two-cap England player, finally came clean and admitted to having a drinking problem in 2006 in front of a judge. Number 2. Garicinha. Garicinha, a legendary athlete from Brazil, battled alcoholism his entire life before passing away from liver cancer. He competed for Brazil in the 1958 and 1962 World Cup winning squads. Number 1. Kenny Sansom. An ex-Arsenal and England fullback, Kenny Sansom, following his playing career's end in 1995, battled alcoholism. After soughting treatment and pushing past his addictions, the Legends circuit is where he is currently playing as a backup. That's all for today, guys. This information is valuable for you. We appreciate your trust in our research. Please leave a like for this video. Also, comment down below and tell us what you want more from us. We appreciate your feedback and suggestions. If you are new to this channel, remember to subscribe to our channel. See you soon in the following video. Stay tuned and connected.